Every day, millions of people eat foods they believe are safe, familiar, even healthy. A slice of bread in the morning, a glass of juice in the afternoon, something quick and easy for dinner, nothing unusual, nothing extreme. And yet, over time, something begins to change. Energy becomes less stable. The body feels heavier. Small health issues begin to appear, not suddenly, but gradually. According to long-term health studies, many of the most common chronic conditions in older adults are not caused by a single event, but by repeated daily habits, the kind that feel harmless, the kind no one questions. What makes this more concerning is that after the age of 60, the body becomes more sensitive to what it consumes. Metabolism slows, recovery weakens, and the ability to process sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats declines, which means the same foods you trusted for years may now be working quietly against you. The illusion of normal food. One of the greatest misconceptions about diet is the belief that normal means safe. Foods that are widely consumed, marketed for convenience, and passed down through generations often carry an assumption of safety. But history tells a different story. Many modern dietary habits were shaped during a time when food production prioritized shelf life and convenience, not long-term health. Highly processed foods became common in the mid-20th century, changing the way entire generations eat. Over time, these foods became routine, and routine became trust. But research now shows that regular consumption of ultra-processed foods is associated with increased risks of heart disease, metabolic disorders, and cognitive decline. The danger is not always in the quantity, but in the consistency. Small choices, repeated daily, shape long-term outcomes. Liquid sugar, the fastest hidden damage. Some of the most harmful foods are not eaten, but consumed as drinks. Sugary beverages enter the bloodstream rapidly, causing immediate spikes in blood glucose. Unlike whole foods, they lack fiber, which means the body has little control over how quickly sugar is absorbed. For older adults, this creates a serious problem. With age, insulin response weakens, making it harder to regulate these spikes. Studies from major public health institutions show that regular consumption of sugary drinks is strongly linked to type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. What makes this risk particularly dangerous is how invisible it feels. There is no immediate discomfort, no warning signal, only gradual strain on the body's internal systems. Refined carbohydrates, comfort that depletes. Refined carbohydrates are often associated with comfort. Soft bread, pastries, processed cereals, foods that are easy to eat and familiar in taste. But these foods have been stripped of fiber and nutrients, leaving behind rapidly digestible starch. This leads to quick energy, followed by a sudden drop. Over time, this cycle creates instability. Research shows that high intake of refined carbohydrates is linked to increased inflammation, weight gain, and metabolic imbalance. For aging bodies, this instability becomes more pronounced. Energy fluctuations become stronger, and recovery becomes slower. What feels like comfort may actually be contributing to fatigue. Hidden sodium. The silent pressure. Salt is rarely seen, but its effects are widespread. Most dietary sodium does not come from added salt, but from processed and packaged foods. Canned meals, snacks, sauces, even bread often contain high levels of sodium. According to global health data, Excess sodium intake is one of the leading contributors to high blood pressure. And for adults over 60, this risk increases significantly. The body becomes less efficient at regulating fluid balance. The result is a gradual rise in pressure within the cardiovascular system. There is no immediate pain, no clear warning, only a slow progression, which is why it is often called a silent risk. Fried foods, damage that builds over time. Fried foods are often linked to pleasure, to reward, to routine, but the way these foods are prepared introduces compounds that the body struggles to handle. Repeatedly heated oils create oxidized fats, which contribute to inflammation and cellular damage. Long-term studies have shown a strong association between frequent consumption of fried foods and increased risk of heart disease. There is also growing evidence linking these dietary patterns to cognitive decline in later life. For older adults, the body's ability to repair damage is reduced, which means the impact of these foods is not only cumulative, but amplified. The danger of familiarity. The most dangerous foods are not always the ones that seem unhealthy. They are the ones that feel normal. Habits built over decades create a sense of trust, but the body does not remain the same. Research in aging shows that nutritional needs shift significantly over time, while eating patterns often do not. This creates a disconnect. What once supported the body may now be placing it under stress, and because the change is gradual, it often goes unnoticed, until the effects become difficult to ignore. Closing the body rarely reacts all at once. It responds slowly, quietly, over time. Every meal, every habit, every choice adds up, not in a single day, but across years. Understanding this is not about fear, it is about awareness. Because the foods you trust the most may be shaping your health in ways you cannot see. Final quote: health is not decided in moments, but in patterns repeated over a lifetime.